Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. Instead of making minifigure customs off pre-existing minifigures, we're making customs off of minifigures that might not even exist yet. At this point, we haven't even seen the cast for the live-action Ninjago movie, and so I thought it'd be fun to kind of do what a few other people are doing at this point and try to create some custom minifigures based off of what we potentially could see when the movie eventually comes out. So let's start with the inevitable main character of the movie, Lloyd. So I wanted to use a lot of olive green on him since that's not something that we've seen on a lot of Lloyd minifigures in the past. I'm using a torso from one of the Dungeons & Dragons collectible minifigures, as well as legs from the 2015 Ronin minifigure. I'm also using a head from one of the Bruce Banner minifigures. I really like the angry green eyes, and that was really my inspiration for this whole video. And the expression on the back is just a standard generic minifigure smile, nothing too exciting there, but I think it's worth it for the green eyes on the back. And next up we have X-main character Kai. I'm using one of Hawkeye's old torsos for him, as well as the legs from the original Star-Lord minifigure. And then to top it off, I also gave him the hair from the Tracer minifigure from Overwatch, just because I figured it makes sense that he'd get a new hairstyle every movie, right? I feel like Wong's face currently matches Kai's personality the best, so I use that. I'm not really as sold on the facial hair since it's kind of weird seeing a ninja with facial hair, but if you want, you could always shave that off with an eraser or something. To me, it's not that big of a deal since of course I gave him a mask, but that's really up to you. And next up we have Kai's sister Nia. I wanted to change her main color to a more unique color, so I ended up using the Hawkeye torso from the Marvel collectible minifigure series, as well as the legs from the Hawkeye Jr. minifigure. And then I'm using a purple mask, which is pretty rare. I believe it only came in one set. And then of course Nia's standard hairpiece ever since the original Ninjago movie. And then of course we have the head, which I'm using from the Catwoman minifigure from the most recent Batman movie. It has some pretty effective expressions for Nia here. We have a sort of a determined smirk on the back, and then a sort of more bemused smirk on the front. Smile? I don't know. Nothing really battle-worthy, but I guess if she's wearing her mask, you're not going to be able to tell. And next up we have Jay. I wanted to give him a sand blue color scheme since that's something we haven't really seen on a lot of the Jay minifigures so far. So the torso and legs come from one of the Monkey King minifigures, and his face comes from Shazam. Now I'm not quite as sold on the face other than the lightning expressions here. For example, if you remove the mask, you can see this is definitely a lot more sterner of a Jay than we're used to. If you look at the other side, I guess that smile doesn't really match anything we've seen from Jay yet, but who knows? Anything could go in a live action, I guess. But if I wasn't using a battle-ready face for him, I would probably just use one of Chandler's faces from Friends. That to me seems to fit Jay's personality a whole lot better. Kind of more relaxed and happy, especially the expression on the back, which looks like Jay's just pulled a prank on Cole. And next up we have Cole in the darkest ninja suit yet. I did think about giving him an orange mask to just add in a little bit of color there, but in the end I decided to give him a more traditional ninja-y costume. He's using the torso from the Razor Fist minifigure from Shang-Chi, as well as the legs from Cole's Day of the Departed suit. And then for a face, I'm using Bruce Wayne's face from the Lego Batman movie. Again, like the Shazam face for Jay, I feel like it doesn't quite capture Cole's personality. In fact, it might be better for, say, a young Lego Ninjago movie Garmadon, but I really liked how the eyebrows looked with the mask. I feel like they're the most accurate to what we have for Cole now, so that's what I ended up going with. And here we can see Cole in a little bit more of a flirty mood. Maybe he's just seen a big slice of cake across the room. Well, go get it, Cole. We're not stopping you. And for the last of the OG 6 Ninja, we have Zayn in his human form. I'm not really sure which direction the live-action Ninjago movie would go for him, but I ended up just using a regular flesh-tone face, because I don't know if they would actually bother, putting in a CGI character for Zayn. But, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just not being creative enough here. But regardless, his torso comes from one of the collectible minifigures from a few years ago. I really love that snowflake design, and I've been looking for an excuse to use it with Zayn ever since. His legs come from a Lego City Kendo minifigure, also from a few years ago. And then I changed his hairpiece up a little bit just to give him a more realistic hairstyle. Kind of prefer that look for Zayn anyway, to be honest. The flat top buzz cut really doesn't do it for me. And for the face that I'm using underneath, I went with a young Obi-Wan Kenobi from a few years ago, just because I felt like it was the most accurate to what's currently out there licensed minifigure wise. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if we flip it around, you can see that Zayn may be an android, but he does in fact have some emotion as he gears up for battle here. And next up we have Eren, the star of Dragon's Rising. I gave him one of the torsos from the AIM agents a few years ago, as well as some cargo pants and a utility belt, because why not? He's basically a younger Batman at this point, right? And then we also have an orange mask for him. I would have preferred for the mask to be the same shade of yellow as the rest of Eren's suit here, but unfortunately that doesn't exist yet. And then of course I changed his hairpiece up just because I'm not a fan of the one that he currently uses. And here we can see the face that I'm using for him. Eren looks pretty excited here, but don't let down your guard because on the back, he is all ready for business. He looks like he just found out that you know something about his parents that you're not telling him, and he's gonna hunt you down. And next up we have Sora, Eren's best friend from the Crossroads. I'm using her standard legs as well as the torso from the Goliath minifigure, and then of course we have her standard cat ear headphones on. I was debating between these legs and these legs, which come from one of the Dreams minifigures. I feel like these legs are just a little bit too dark color-wise, so that's why I stuck with Sora's original legs, just to add in a little bit more color. And then for Sora's face, I ended up using this one from the Wanda minifigure from the first line of collectible minifigures, and you can flip it around and see that Sora is smiling on both front and back. I guess that's not ideal for battle, but it does give you the opportunity to use this face with Sora using her powers. It looks a lot like the official face that LEGO already uses for her, so that's ultimately why I went with it. And next up is the last of the new Ninja minifigures. Once I saw the face for Kate Bishop from the second wave of Marvel collectible minifigures, I knew that it would be perfect for a live-action version of Wildfire. She's all scraped up and she's got the bandages. And if you look on the back, well, you have a mischievous smirk, which suits Wildfire pretty well. I also gave her a more realistic colored hairpiece with some dark red here. And then for the torso, I ended up using the Echo minifigure from the second wave of Marvel collectible minifigures, as well as the legs from Wanda from the first wave. Maybe it's not the most standout minifigure design, but I feel like it's close to what you would probably see in a more live-action version of Ninjago. Of course, I could be wrong, and feel free to let me know what your ideal designs would be in the comments below. And next up, we have the master himself, Sensei Woo. I wanted to give him a more battle-worn, sterner look here, so that's why we are using the robes from Luke from The Last Jedi, as well as a white version of the Dumbledore beard, and the face of Superman's father from the LEGO Batman movie collectible minifigures. I think it was the second series, maybe? I'm not entirely sure on that. With a face like this, I guess he really doesn't even need a beard. That looks pretty intimidating enough, but I think the beard just adds a nice extra touch. And last and far from least, we have the man himself, Darth, the man who's been done the dirtiest by the Ninjago show. Here we can see him smiling as he holds up his trophy. He's wearing a brown suit courtesy of Chandler, and his face comes from Kramer from the Seinfeld Ideas set. And if you move to the back, you can see he also has a more shocked and disappointed expression here, maybe after the ninja visit his dojo for the first time and just trash the place. And here is Darth in his ninja suit ready to dispense some brown ninja justice and save the day. The torso comes from Overwatch, the legs from Toy Story, and his armor comes from the golden dragon forms of the ninja. I felt it was only fair to give him his own suit given how he's been treated and, you know, to make him into the hero that he deserves to be. Alright, and that is it for my quick look at some of my concepts for the live-action Ninjago movie. Obviously, everyone's going to have their own ideas as to what the characters should look like and which costumes they have, but at this point we really don't know anything, so you know, you just gotta make your own customs, I guess, or you know, let me know in the comment section below what you think the ideal versions of the ninja would be. Anyway, that's all that I have for you guys today, so if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that other good stuff, and we'll see you next time.